afternoon. Right now we're on the MSC Seaside cruise ship. I go by the Legend, joined by my wonderful girlfriend Molly. In this video here, we're going to show you off everything the MSC Seaside has to offer. From the restaurants and the food, the bars and the drinks, all the activities like the zip line, and more. Now we're starting off here on the back of the ship, the main pool area. This is known as the Miami pool. And they'll do lots of parties up here. You can tell the pool is very popular. I love how they have like kind of the beds on the side.
Yes, that's very nice, and I like how you can just dip your feet in.
Yeah. A very nice pool deck. They'll do parties out here pretty much every evening. Last night there was a tropical party. Tonight there's a white hot party. And they'll use the screen for different things. There'll be trivia out here. There'll be dance classes. There is also, what is the word I am thinking of?
There's the pool Olympics they had.
Yeah, there's karaoke was out here one night on the big screen. And it's a very, very nice pool area. There are two different pool bars. The one below me on deck 16 is always crowded.
Always.
Always crowded. So if you want to drink by the pool, go up. There's a pool bar right here on deck 19. That one is much, much less crowded. So head on up there. But there we go. That is the pool area. Let's go check out
the hippos.
Oh yeah, the hippopotamuses are fantastic.
And they have a lot of hot tubs throughout the ship.
Yeah, like there's two in the back over there.
And then there's one here, and they're decent size. They're a little bit small, but there's a lot of them.
All right, let's go check out the rest of the ship. I do want to make note, the lounge chairs on this cruise ship are very comfortable.
Yeah, with the pillows.
Yeah. On deck 16, behind the big stage by the pool, is what they call the Bridge of Size, which is a really quirky design feature of this cruise ship. A big, oh, this is rather trippy here. As you're probably a good 100 feet above the deck 7. Show some of the views of looking like straight down. Then going the other way. Yeah, this is pretty neat up here. Molly, I feel like I found all the kids on the ship.
We did.
This is like their water park area. They actually have 4 different water slides on this cruise ship.
It's really nice.
Yeah, they've got these 2 racing slides that go over the side of the ship. A little bit tamer with that ground slide. And then on the other side, they have a big tube slide. I also love some of these nets and stuff that you can climb on.
Small little rope course.
Yeah, you can hang out over here and use the water guns to squirt people in the pool down below. They've got a tipping bucket. This is really, really nice. Located right next to the kids' pool and water park area, they've got this really, really neat section for the little ones, featuring like playground equipment with adorable animals on it. This is really nice. On deck 20, really up high now, is the basketball court. There will be some different things. They're going to have a basketball tournament in a little bit. Although it looks like the rim moves quite like the whole backboard is shaking left and right. So right now we're in the back of the ship on deck 7 in the South Beach pool area. A bunch of stuff out here. First of all, you got an upcharged gelato and creperie.
Which that probably is amazing.
Yeah.
In an Italian cruise line.
Yes. And then you also got a lot of loungers out here and the South Beach pool. That's a really nice looking pool.
It is. Odd statues next to the pool.
Yeah, they're interesting. One thing with the pools here on the MSC cruise line, you cannot bring your drinks in the pool. But it does, like, it's pretty hot out today. That looks like it would be wonderful.
Yeah, very relaxing.
And also, as you would think with a pool, there is a pool bar.
Now, they do have parties here.
Yes.
There was supposed to be a glow party, but it rained, so it got canceled.
Yeah, but they'll have a DJ and stuff out here in the evenings.
Yep.
One thing about this, though, one thing I don't like is that it is a smoking area.
And it's covered.
And it's covered, so like the smoke smell is very pungent in a party area, which is, I'm not the biggest fan of that. Currently in the Atrium. It is a very, very impressive atrium here. It goes from deck 5 all the way up to deck 8. They have like the biggest lobby bar I've ever seen on a cruise ship. Look at that.
Giant.
Really nice liquor selection here. I'm currently drinking an old fashioned made with a top shelf rum, the Rum JM, a great rum. Molly, you got something on the menu. It's a Sunset Beach.
With Malibu.
Now, the Atrium is mostly used for music in the evenings. They do a couple parties in here. They had a couple parties on night 1, a sunshine party and a rock and roll party, and those are really fun.
They have dancers on all
on the different levels. Down here, as you expect in the atrium, on deck 5, you get guest services. You also got the photo area, a secondary guest services, which is nice that they open that one up when it is crowded.
Is for dining originally. Like when you first board, this is your dining, and then it turns into guest
Which is important. Like we got assigned late dining. Late dining was at like 9:45, and I don't want to eat at 9:45. Also worth noting, on pretty much I think every MSC cruise ship is they have these Swarovski crystals.
Prettiest stairs.
In the stairs. And that's one thing, the ship is just beautiful. And the atrium might be the prettiest section. They got some cool stuff here on deck 7. There's an F1 racing simulator. If I turn around, there is a Triotech XD theater, which shows 4 different movies. There is a full bowling alley. Which I love the decor in here. Yeah. Now I will say that simulator is loud. Yes, it is. And then you also have a couple of smaller arcade games. And here's the pricing on those attractions. F1 simulator is going to be $12. The Triotech ride is going to be $11. Bowling, if you want to bowl for a half hour, $30. 1 hour, $50. If you want to do the billiards on the other side, that is $10 for 1 hour. That's not bad. And you go on the zip line, it is $11. Those aren't bad prices. No. Towards the back of the ship on deck 7, you'll find the billiard room. Now, I believe this is a self-leveling pool table. And this is something you can rent out. You do have to, it's kind of awkward because you have to go where the simulator rides are and rent it over there, but actually it's fairly inexpensive. I think $10 for an hour of play. Really good. I really love the theming level in here. Right now we're at the jungle pool, which is a retractable roof pool. So in the event of, bad weather, well, they could close the roof and the pool could still be running. Another one with lounge chairs, big giant pool bar. They also have upcharged gelato and sorbet. It looks amazing. Yeah, but this pool is pretty neat. I'm a big fan of having the indoor pool. It's like it's sunburnt very easily. And that's what this one looks like with the jungle theme. One thing I like about the Seaside is on deck 8, there's an outdoor deck that wraps around 3/4 of the way around the ship. There's an outdoor bar here near the buffet. Unfortunately, that didn't operate at all the entire length of our cruise, so that's a bit of a bummer. Also in here they have what's called the Infinity Bridge. It's kind of weird though because you don't look over the ocean. You just look like 2 decks below. But it is kind of fancy. I guess over here you're sort of over the ocean. Just want to show off this area on deck 8. It is a very, very modern, very sleek cruise ship, and it's very pretty. It is really pretty. It's gorgeous. I love this stuff. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. It's a sculpture of letters and a tree and numbers. Neat. Located on decks 6 and 7 in the front of the ship, you'll find the main show theater on board the MSC Seaside. On our 3-night cruise, well, there were 3 different main shows in that theater. On night 1 was our favorite show. It was something called Peter Punk. And this was really different for a cruise ship show, as it wasn't a lot of singing and dancing, much more acrobatics, kind of like a Cirque du Soleil show. And it was really cool. It had like a Pirates of the Caribbean vibe, and at one point, a dinosaur showed up. So this got a huge thumbs up for me. Very different for a cruise ship, and by far my favorite show. The polar opposite would be the show the next night, and that was called Rocket, and that's exactly what you think it's going to be. Singers and dancers just singing classic rock songs. And then on night 3 was a show called Star Walker, which was a Michael Jackson tribute show, and this was all dancing, also a pretty good show. One day in the afternoon, they did use the theater for Master Chef at Sea, as they have the Master Chef license, and that was a pretty good time. Definitely try and check that out. One thing to note, for the main shows in the evening, you do need reservations. You just have to make them the day of the show on the app or on one of the touchscreens around the ship. Molly, right now we're at probably my favorite lounge on the ship. Yeah. This is the sports bar, complete with Derek Jeter stuff. Lots of really cool autographed boxers. Mike Tyson, Butterbean, man who's 1-0 at WrestleMania. And lots of autographs. And then there's a couple things I like about this bar. This is very neat. Yeah, I love how they have like these little kind of borderless booths where you can hang out and watch the game. Like, look at them, they're so cute. You can come in here. Little Damarino. And they have a TV. Looks like the TV is cut out as we're in international waters. But yeah, great place to watch a game. We are sailing on a pretty good sports weekend, and they have had the NFL draft on, and they've also had the NBA playoffs on. Here's some of their the beers they do have in the bottles. They've got a bunch more on draft as well. Also a big bar. Normally you have like 3 or 4 bartenders working here. And look at the size of this TV.
It's like the clearest TV.
Yeah. I am very, very impressed that they have a TV of this size and clarity on a cruise ship. I think that's just wonderful. And this is where you would really want to be for a big game, I think.
Yes.
On deck 6, you'll have something that's pretty unique, the Vinci Chocolate Bar. Now, this is a sweets area where you can buy a whole bunch of very fancy chocolate. And if you take nothing else away from this video, they have a bar here, and this bar has never had lines anytime we've seen it on the cruise. Other bars, you couldn't be waiting like 15 minutes for a drink. This bar is kind of like the hidden gem, so don't miss it. Come here and get drinks.
But the specialty drinks are not included in any of the package. It's just the liquors.
Yeah, like their specialty drinks, which sounds amazing. They have like chocolate martinis or chocolate margaritas, but again, not included. But you can just come here and get a normal drink, and it's on your package, and no line. And that's some neat seats. Also, in the chocolate bar area, they've got some really, really neat chocolate sculptures.
I think these are my favorite.
Oh, those are hilarious. And a couple more over here. Also, I really like this sculpture over by the chocolate bar. That's just wonderful. On deck 7 is where you'll find the Garage Club. It's a bar that really only operates in the evening time.
Yes.
And it's the karaoke bar at one point, and it's a nightclub at one point. I love the DJ booth in the old-timey car.
It's wonderful.
A very kind of interesting decor in here. Very different, very kind of kitschy. Karaoke has been pretty popular. And it's got the giant screen in the background. One bar we grabbed a lot of drinks in is this champagne bar. It's right off the Atrium on deck 7, and they have a lot of really great sparkling wine and champagne cocktails.
Most of them, though, you need the premium beverage
Well,
place.
it's not half and half. There's a lot of $10 ones on there. I'm drinking my favorite. That's the Chambord Royale. Molly, you got one called the French Kiss. And every drink we've had in here has been really tasty. All right, it is dinner time here on the MSC Seaside. We have early dining. We're dining at 5 o'clock at the Ipanema restaurant. Both the main dining rooms are located right off the atrium towards the, I think the back of the ship.
Yes.
And let's go see what's for dinner. Like a lot of the ship, the entrance corridor to the dining room is rather snazzy. And here's the main dining room. It is, like you know some cruise ships in the main dining rooms, it's gigantic thing. It is not that way here on the MSC Cruise Line, but I've quite enjoyed the food so far. And we have made it to our table. As a big fan of professional wrestling, I was not going to forget my table number at this dining room. And here's what the menu looks like. Pretty fancy. This is gala night. Now at MSC, you are assigned a dining time. Normally we like to do my time dining or anytime dining. You have to book in an Aurea package or above to get that. So you just get assigned. You can write in what you want, like if you prefer an early or late, and they try your best to get you one. But the dining times do get very early or very late. Like we're at 5 o'clock, which is pretty early. One is at 9:45 in the evening, so there's a big range. Just wanted to turn on the camera real quick. I can't believe this is on a main dining room menu. Surf and turf with filet mignon and lobster tail. Like that is a very expensive dish.
Yes, I'm jealous I don't eat lobster because I would have gotten that.
Dinner service begins with a bread basket. You get 3 or 4 different types of bread, and the breads do change each meal. The appetizer course has arrived. Molly got the Asian sampler, and I got the beef tartare. The main course has arrived, and they look good. Molly got the rack of lamb. I got the surf and turf, but just the filet mignon. And this is a really, really nice meal for the main dining room. Holy cow. Some quick thoughts. Dinner's fantastic tonight. This is very, very, very tasty. The lamb.
The crust is really good.
Yeah, that Parmesan crust. Just a terrific meal. Really, really great quality food for our main dining room. Finishing up what was a wonderful, wonderful meal with dessert. Molly got the baked Alaska, and I got the royal cake. Look at the fanciness. We're currently on deck 7 at the Haven Lounge, which I feel like it's one of the bigger lounges on the ship.
Definitely.
I think it only operates in the evenings, and the big thing in here is the party band, big like 4 or 5 piece band, and they'll do different kind of sets. So they did like a Latin set one day. Yesterday was more rock and roll music. They'll also have some game shows in here.
This is also if it's raining for like the dance classes upstairs.
They move
down here.
I think there might be some trivia in here as well. This is on the standard bar menu. I will say though, like different bars will have different liquors, and we're on the premium beverage package, so you can get anything $16 and below. And that includes Macallan Quest, a very, very expensive whiskey. So I had a bunch of those last night, and I'm feeling it today. For the most part, MSC Seaside uses what's called smart elevators. So instead of getting in an elevator and pushing the button, on the outside here, you would pick which one you want. Like say we wanted to go to all the way to the top, deck 18. And unable to allocate an elevator. Deck 15.
Car D7.
And it gives you like an estimated time of arrival.
And it lights up so you know which one.
Yeah, I will say, while this is a neat system, the elevators have been very crowded. We're on full sailing, and generally you do have to wait 1 or 2 minutes for an elevator, and half the time the elevator will show up and it's full.
I'm wondering if it's programmed wrong, because that's not what smart elevators should be doing. Or maybe too many people.
Yeah, I don't know. On deck 8, there's the Seaview Lounge. Pretty popular this morning when we were filming this.
Yes, at night there's usually a guitarist.
Yeah, like an acoustic guitar guy. And we're on the standard bar menu. And in the morning, they'll have pastries.
Pastries are really good on that.
Yeah, those little croissants are fantastic. Something that's really neat, on the back of the ship, they have what they call the panoramic elevators. It starts all the way down here at the South Beach pool. Let's see how clean of a ride we get. Going up, 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 up.
It's gorgeous views.
Yeah. Oh, I think we're getting a clean ride. And yeah, all the way up to deck 16.
Deck 16.
On deck 8 in the back of the ship, you'll find the Marketplace Buffet, which is the larger of the 2 different buffets on board the ship.
It's really odd that it's on deck 8.
Yes.
I'm not used to that.
No, let's go see what's for lunch. One of the first things you get to is the make your own salad bar.
All types of toppings.
Yep. Ooh, like olives and cranberries. Different types of dressing. Staying with the healthy stuff, there's a bunch of different fruits and vegetables. Currently at the grill section, which is going to be hamburgers and hot dogs. Now, one nice thing about this, the grill section and the pizza section, those will be open for late night snacks, and they stay open till about 1 in the morning.
And they do have turkey burgers.
It's pretty neat. Right towards the front of the buffet, they've got a show kitchen where they make all the pastries. Made it to the pizza station. The pizza on MSC Cruise Lines is very, very good, as you expect from an Italian cruise line. The 4 cheese is very good, that white pizza.
Yes.
Pepperoni's good. For lunch today, they got a pretty good bread selection. Look at that cheese bread.
And the garlic bread looks really good too.
Yeah. Made it to the rotisserie area. There's fennel, vegetables, couscous, rice. Ooh, a lamb casserole. We've got a Thai-style fish, bean stew, pork stew, mashed potatoes, and of course, rotisserie chicken. Next section is soup and pasta. We got a creamy mushroom, as well as a steamed long grain rice. Got pasta, and pasta. A nice selection of meats and cheeses. That's my favorite there, like the prosciutto, and that salami is really good. Molly, I know you're a fan of this burrata cheese they have.
Yeah, really good.
We got some desserts. Not too many. I think there's only like 3 different types of desserts. They do look good though. Might just go for whatever this raspberry thing is. There's another grill area. You got some vegetable samosas, as well as like tortilla chips, but there's no like cheese or meat or anything to put on them. It is lunchtime currently, but they still got bacon. And some not great looking scrambled eggs. And eggs and potatoes. Got a couple of cold salad dishes. Update, I went a little bit further and found where you can get some toppings for nachos. And there's also a carving station over here, all the way in the back of the ship. Look at that, that looks wonderful. So it's not turned on our sailing, but all the way in the back of the buffet, there's like a pour your own beer and wine station. I guess you would swipe your card in there. And I had to put this on camera because look at that sign. Today's Good Mood is sponsored by beer. They have a bunch of them for wine and soft drinks as well, but they haven't been turned on. There's a couple of different beverage stations around the buffet. Really impressive. They have like 12 different types of hot teas you can get. That's nice. Along with coffee, cold milk, apple juice, lemonade. All the way in the front of the buffet, you do have a bar. Now this bar will only serve beers and wines and soft drinks, but it's nice that they have one. One nice thing about the buffet, you can eat inside or you can eat outside and enjoy the ocean air. So we are currently sailing away from Ocean Cay, which is the MSC's private island, a wonderful, wonderful island. See the big lighthouse off in the distance. On deck 16 is the Biscayne Bay buffet. Now this is the smaller of the 2 buffets on board. I do like the room though. I think it's a very pretty room.
It is.
This one is normally not quite as crowded as the one downstairs. And the only thing that really kind of makes this one special is they always have a family and kids area. So if you're traveling with little ones or pickier eaters, this might be the buffet I recommend you come to. On deck 8, you'll find the spa area on board the ship. Now, Molly, you and I, we're not really spa people.
We are not.
It's a pretty sizable area as well. They've got a salon and then a barber shop, a nail salon, like their own specialty nail salon, which I don't think I've seen on cruise ships before.
They're usually with the hair salons.
Yeah.
It's not usually a separate room.
They do have a thermal suite as well as you get all your massages and stuff like that done in here. One nice thing, I'm a gold status member on their loyalty program, so I get an hour in the thermal suite if I wanted it.
Yeah, no, I'm almost there.
Yeah, after this cruise, I think you'll be there.
But you can only use it during port days.
Yep. And the gym is also over here. Nice looking gym. Like lots of, like everything's really spread out. And there we go, that is the spa. Here on deck 5, this is where you would buy your photos. There's also going to be an art gallery down here. But just another very snazzy section of the ship. Like, if you're somebody that loves to take Instagram photos, you have probably a million different places on this ship in which you can do so.
You do.
And here is the art gallery, complete with random thrones. Right now, Molly, me and you are on deck 16 of what's called the Chef's Court restaurants area. Mm-hmm. They have a really nice bar up here. It only operates in the evening. This is the wine and cocktails bar. They've got a really nice menu. Drinks are kind of on the higher end of the price point, so if you do have that premium package, this would be a good bar to use it at. Molly got a drink called the Aloha Friday. I beta, once I saw this on the menu, I didn't care what was in it. I was ordering a drink called the Uncle Rico.
You were.
A man that could throw the football over the mountains. And this is also where they have these specialty restaurants. So Ocean Cay, which is going to be their seafood restaurant, along with Butcher's Cut, the steakhouse. And then there's going to be the Asian Market Kitchen and teppanyaki. But the bar is pretty chill, and they got really nice drinks up here. Just off the atrium here on deck 7, you will find the future cruise desk. So if you want to book a cruise while you're on the cruise, you can. And you get different perks like onboard credit or double points. We did book a cruise on this one, so we'll be on the MSC Divina in December. Mm-hmm. So excited for that. You got a very tranquil lounge here on deck 8 in the atrium area, Bistro La Boheme. Now this one will only operate in I think it's the mornings for coffee and then in the evenings.
Yes.
There has been some arts and crafts up here, and this is another one where I think the theming touches are pretty neat. And again, if you want to watch some of the entertainment in the atrium, you can watch it from up here. As right now it's in screensaver mode with whale sharks. So if you go to the top of the ship in the front, you're going to get a couple areas that are kind of exclusive areas for guests that are paying a little bit more on the cruise, including the Top 19 Solarium, which is you got to be booked in an Aurea cabin or like a yacht club cabin. You also have the yacht club in the very front, and that is going to be for guests that booked in suites. And I believe they have their own restaurant and
I think they have
bar over there.
Hot tub too.
Yeah.
In this area.
Also, we're up here by the water slides, and there's a hot tub that is completely empty at this moment. So if you're a hot tub person, that might be one you want to come and check out. Just off the atrium on deck 8, in a bit of a weird spot, is where you'll find the shore excursions desk. And yeah, obviously we only had one stop, and there wasn't the biggest deals, but it's actually a pretty short excursions desk. In the atrium area on deck 6, you do have a shore excursions desk. There's 2 different ones on the ship. You'll also have a big lobby bar, the Shine Bar. Now it'll run the regular bar menu, but it will have very, very long hours. I also really like some of the seats that are in the atrium area. Like, check out that bar seating over there. We can sit one of those stools and just hang out in the air conditioning and watch the ocean go by. We are currently on deck 18 in the back of the ship, and this is where all the kids clubs are. We got a baby club for the people under 3, a mini club if you're 3 to 6, and a junior club if you're up to 7 to 11. Now, we are none of those age ranges, so that's all we can really show you on this one. A lot of the shopping will be found on deck 6. You've got the boutique, which is going to be a clothing store. Not like an MSC clothing store, but like fancy Calvin Klein clothes. And then across the way, something that's a big deal to many on cruise ships, and that is going to be your duty-free shopping. You've got one for perfume and cosmetics, and then one for duty-free liquor.
You also had a purse store back there.
Yeah, there's jewelry stores as well. Look at all the liquor. Something that I think is really, really cool, in their duty-free store, they have their own MSC branded limoncello and meloncello for $15 a bottle. Or if you buy them in bulk, you can save some cash. Hey Molly, what do you think the store sells?
Sunglasses and watches, probably.
Yep. It's I like walking by this because it's very shiny. Like, it's a very, very shiny store. And yep, watches and sunglasses. On deck 8, right in the lobby area, you do have the logo store. It's always my favorite store on board any cruise ship. This is where you'll find all your MSC souvenirs, any of your Seaside souvenirs. Let's see what kind of stuff is on offer today. I like the beach towel. Look at the socks. That's really fun. Clothes for little ones. Ooh, fancy robes. A big bag. You could buy a model of the cruise ship. Some cool stuff for the kids too, like a pullback cruise ship toy. And I love this, the MSC rubber ducky. I actually recently became an uncle, so I buy all sorts of dumb stuff for my niece, and I'm going to buy one of these to give to her. But they do have other cool stuff too, like that weird creature there, that is the mascot for MSC Cruising.
Don't worry me.
Yep. You can also buy bears, and since they do have a partnership with Lego, you can get your own MSC official Lego cruise ship.
They also have Monopoly.
Oh, fun. And wrapping things up here, let's talk about the cabin. The cabin, we were in 91, 97, and we booked like a guarantee. We ended up getting a like a handicapped accessible cabin, which means it's probably going to be bigger than other interior cabins. A couple things I did like. The bed was very, very comfortable.
It's one bed too.
Yeah, it's not like a lot of times you're like 2 beds pushed together and there's like a crack down the middle. This one was one bed. It's pretty nice. Room looks like the rest of the ship is very snazzy, very sleek.
Good air conditioning in here.
Really good air conditioning. You got a couple of mirrors over there. A TV. The TV does not get too many channels. Like a travel channel, Food Network, CNN, some Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and some other languages. You do have plenty of room for storage. There is a mini bar down there. Don't buy anything in the mini bar, it's really expensive. A couple big closets, there's a safe in this one. And then with the being in this accessible cabin, you get the bathroom's very big. One thing that's not great, the room has a moldy smell. I'm assuming like water has creeped from the bathroom into this carpeting, so the once you get in the room, it kind of like the first couple minutes, you're like, oh, that's definitely mold.
Yeah.
Then you go nose blind to it, I think.
Because it's a roll-in.
Yeah.
I don't think with some of the movement on the ship, it catches the drains, catch all the water.
But it ends up being like the biggest cruise bathroom ever.
Yes.
Of course, you've got the terrifying toilet. One thing I will say on MSC Cruise Line, the quality of toilet paper is good. Some cruise ships, it is horrid. This one, pretty solid. And that was our room. And there we go. That'll do it for our time on the MSC Seaside. A little bit of information about this cruise. It was a really good deal. This was about the cabin cost was about $210 per person, but it included the Easy Plus beverage package as well as the Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, insane value on this cruise. And then there was also a casino on the cruise that was on deck 7. You're really not supposed to film in casinos when they're open. Normally I try and hop in there when I'm doing one of these ship tours and film when it's closed. But really the only time it was closed was on embarkation day, and I just didn't think about it. So the casino was a little bit on the small side and on the crowded side, but a no smoking casino, which is nice.
Yeah, not many tables there.
Yeah. All right. So now it's time to channel our inner Simon Miller and give the ups and downs for the MSC Seaside. Obviously, I think, you know, the obviously that value proposition was fantastic. But then I was very surprised on a cruise that is that cheap, the quality of food in the main dining room. Holy cow, especially like that meal on the last night. Rack of lamb, surf and turf.
Lobster, yeah, that was really good. Most of our food was really good in the main dining room. I can't think of anything that I did not like there. For me, I loved the late night parties that they had. The Atrium parties was a blast that they used. The tropical party, the
White Hot party.
MSC knows how to throw a good late night party.
Yep, and there's a lot of nighttime activities too, mostly music. But it was kind of cool how you could hop around the ship and go from musician to musician to musician in all the different bars.
I loved how pretty the ship was. It was very modern, very sleek.
Yeah, I liked how the water slides. That's a really good water park play area. If you're going on there with kids, I imagine you're going to spend a lot of time in that section.
There's a lot of pools and hot tubs too, if you love that.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's got kind of not the easiest layout, the ship, but like you keep running into and finding more hot tubs as you walk the upper decks.
Mm-hmm. The bridge of size and the panoramic elevators and the Infinity Bridge made beautiful, beautiful pictures and just so relaxing just to stand there and watch the wake of the ship.
Yeah, I love the show on night 1, that Peter Punk show with the all the acrobats. That was really fun, and there was a dinosaur. I think all cruise ship shows should have a dinosaur randomly show up for absolutely no reason.
The private island. I think MSC has one of the better private islands.
Yeah, that was a very fun day. I'm still sunburnt. Got very badly sunburnt that day. But no, it was a good time indeed. All right, so those were some of the good things on the ship. But unfortunately with it do come some bad things on the ship. And I think the main one is the ship felt understaffed.
Yes.
There were 4,500 guests on it. It was a sold-out sailing. But there was the staff, and I mean, they were working so hard and working insane hours. But, I mean, you could just tell they did not have enough bartenders. They did not have enough buffet attendants. And, you know, you would sometimes have to wait, 20 minutes for a drink. When you're on the private island, every bar, and they have a ton of bars, every bar was slammed.
Yes. The buffet really, drove me insane because they would have some stations not open, and then other stations, we went for breakfast, and at the waffle and pancake side, they just had
bananas.
Glazed bananas. There was no waffles, no pancakes, and not even anyone in that area to restock that. And then one time we were wanting bacon and we were in line for bacon. There was an officer that passed probably 4 or 5 times. He was definitely trying to find food to put in that station. But after 2 or 3 minutes of waiting, we just gave up and didn't eat bacon.
And you felt bad for the staff too, because they look like they're getting despondent and beat up because they're so understaffed.
Yes. No.
And I think going along with that, not only were they understaffed, the bars were missing a lot of liquors and a lot of drinks. They have all these great drink menus, But about, I would say, 1/3 of the cocktails on there, if you ask for them, they'll be like, the response is, oh, we're missing ingredients, we can't make that.
Yeah. For me, and it might have been because it was a sold out ship, the smart elevators didn't seem like they worked right. You would wait probably about 2 minutes.
Yeah, average
usually,
probably 2 minutes.
And sometimes those elevators were completely full. And I don't feel like that's how smart elevators should operate.
Yeah, for me, this is an MSC thing, and I hate it. You are not allowed to have drinks in the pools, and you are not allowed to have drinks in the theater. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
For me, I also didn't like the layout of the ship. It was 3 nights, and still on the 3rd night, I couldn't remember exactly where items were, because it's not the... It's a very complicated layout.
You know, like you have to take certain elevators, get to certain things. Like if you want to go find where all the specialty restaurants are, I think you only could get there via one elevator, not the other one.
Yeah.
And also kind of weird, there was no set times for the musicians. Like it didn't tell you when they started, and they still knew when they started, but it didn't tell you when they stopped and what their sets were.
Yeah.
So you have to just sort of walk up and hope they're not on break. Mm-hmm. But overall, there were some ups and some downs, but the value we got on that cruise, you know, the liquors they did have, there was some really good stuff in there. And that main...
Sports bar.
Oh, sports bar was good. I really like that sports bar. Alrighty. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you guys didn't watch videos like this, Molly and I couldn't go on cruise ships like this, so thank you very, very much. If you got any questions about the Seaside, let me know in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. And thanks for watching.